We held a meeting yesterday at the Local Government Training Institute. Unfortunately, we did not invite the press there for the briefing after the meeting, so we decided to invite you today and to brief you about the key decisions taken by the National Executive Committee at the said meeting, so that when we tell our own story, we keep the door locked against rumors and rumor mongering. And so that is why we just call you. It's a very short media encounter. The national statement by the National Democratic Congress on the December on our statement by the National Democratic Congress issued on December 29, 2016. The National Executive Committee of the NDC at its end-of-year meeting held yesterday at the Institute of Local Government Studies took the following decision: to conduct a comprehensive review of the planning, execution, and outcomes of the party's campaign and participation in the December 2016 general elections, with a view to establishing what went wrong in order to guide the party's activities moving into the future. To implement this decision, ladies and gentlemen, the party has constituted a National Elections Review Committee under the chairmanship of Professor Kwasi Botwe. Other members of the committee are Right Honorable Do Ajaho, I beg your pardon, Alhaji Hudu Yahaya, former General Secretary of the party. And I need not tell you that Right Honorable Do Ajaho is the current Speaker of Parliament. And Naval Captain Asasi Jima. 4 members of our parliamentary caucus, including the minority leader. These members are yet to be selected by the caucus. That's why I have not put their names there. And we are also yet to select the minority leader. And Dr. William Ahaji, who is the Director of Research at the headquarters here. Dr. Ibrahim Zubeiru, a lecturer at Accra Technical University, and also a member of the party. And then Mr. Razak Abu. Razak Abu is also a researcher at our Development Challenge. And then Honorable Juliana Azuma Mensah, a former member of Parliament for Agotime Ziope, and Honorable Barbara Sewa Samoa. So, in all, we will have 13 members to constitute the committee. Their terms of reference shall be: 1, to review and validate the results of the 2016 presidential and parliamentary elections. 2, to find out the causes of the poor performance of the NDC in both the presidential and parliamentary elections. 3, deal with any other matter reasonably related to the above objectives, and to make recommendations to the National Executive Committee about the way forward. The committee shall submit its report within 90 days of its inauguration. During the course of its work, the committee is expected to conduct hearings among the rank and file of the party across the country to afford members the opportunity to express their views about all the issues under review and to participate in the reshaping of the party to meet the challenges ahead. The National Executive Committee wishes to advise all members of the party to desist from the ongoing blame games, both in the traditional and social media, and to channel their views through the Committee for Redress. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, the National Executive Committee wishes to urge all members to stand firm and united during these challenging times in the life of the party, and to keep in mind that the future of our party depends on how effectively we respond to the current difficulties. We would like to emphasize that as we strive to understand the challenges that confront us, we must maintain our discipline as a party and not allow this to be compromised in any way. Party discipline shall remain supreme at all times, and we wish all of you a prosperous new year. Thank you very much. The completion of the committee work, would there be any sanction regime? I said if the when the committee finishes work, are we anticipating any sanction regime?
Sanction regime.
About sanctions.
Right. Yes.
Is that correct?
Jonathan.
Whether we are looking for people to punish by putting together this committee. Oh, what?
Some people make statements.
Oh, if people, while the committee is working.
Yes.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. I must make it clear that nothing that has happened has changed the NDC's constitution. So the NDC is still a party that is organized and is governed by its laws. So nobody has suspended the constitution or the application of the NDC constitution. So when you hear people calling for things that are not based on constitution, they are calling for anarchy, honestly. That is why the leadership is taking these steps to direct the affairs of the party. So members are advised to conduct themselves according to the rules and procedures of the party. We have gone into an election and lost. Nobody knows the reasons why we lost. And so we are providing opportunity. Various people are professing various reasons why we lost. And interestingly, there are claims and counterclaims. If Kwaku says Asiedun Ketia is the cause of the loss, the next statement you hear is that Asiedun Ketia will say Kwaku is the cause of the law and the loss. So that is why we want to put in place a system where we can investigate the causes of the problem and then find ways of dealing with the problem. That is how every organization worth its salt approaches its work when there is a problem to solve. So we are saying that the party's laws are still operating. And so if you are making a call, make sure that your call is made in accordance with the laws of the party. And that is not to silence anybody. We are a democratic institution. And that is why we have refrained from talking about punishment for people who have already expressed their views one way or the other. Because in the absence of lawful means, you invite violent ones. So we are providing the lawful means for people to use to redress their problem. That is why we are here. So we are reminding every party member that the party constitution has not changed. It is still there and it is still operative. Somebody wanted us to explain what we mean by review and validate. If you collect data, there is a second look at the data to make sure that what you have is indeed what represents the real situation. So that is why we are reviewing and to validate. Because in the heat of elections, you will be picking information, some of them from collation sheets, but you have a source document. So maybe the committee will look at finding a way of comparing the information on the source document, that's the declaration at the polling station, vis-a-vis the collation sheets, and then we'll be able to validate the figures that we have been working with. Somebody is asking about absence of president role. I don't understand the question, honestly, because the,
I was asking that the constant vilification on part of ex-President Rawlings and his absence in your campaign, if you are assessing it, if you are making immediate assessment, do you think it also contributed to your downfall in the election?
I am not Professor Kwasi Botwe. That is why we put Professor Kwasi Botwe there to head the committee and then to look at all the circumstances and report to us. So you want me to be doing the work of Professor Botwe at this stage. So wait and let the, the committee bring its report. And somebody is saying what will happen if some executives are indicted as the people responsible for. It seems to me that we are eating the food before it is cooked. We are saying go do fact-finding and then report to us and give us recommendations. So we'll be implementing the recommendations of the committee. So we cannot by ourselves be recommending to the committee what they should be doing. Where we are in government, there is a time frame for our elections to be held. When we are out of power, there is a time frame within which the elections should be held. But there are certain things conditions that must be satisfied before elections are held. We begin our elections with branch elections. Then we proceed to constituency elections, and then we go to regional elections. By the time we finish regional elections, then we prepare and do the 3 other national elections. The Youth Congress, the Women's Congress, and then the main party Congress. Then, after that, we will then decide to do another event to select a flag bearer. These are all provided for by our Constitution. When we are in power, we are allowed to hold the Congress and select our leadership 1 year before the election, within 1 year of the election. When we are out of power, we do it within 2 years. That is why we call it early Congress. If anybody is calling for any other thing besides this one, then that person clearly is calling for something that is not provided for by any law. And if we are not about to implement anything that is not founded in our law, because you don't know how to even approach what you want to do, which has no law guiding it.